Hey. It's Mitch, it's Mike, it's Mr. Mike's voiceover journey. And today we got E-double-D in the house, Edilio Diaz. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be here. It's funny because I met you guys at different points, so it's really cool being on a podcast with both of you now.
Yeah. Is that your real nickname, E-double-D?
So that was the nickname that was given. I have a lot of nicknames, actually.
Okay.
But that was the nickname that was given to me during our animation rehab with Malik last fall. And it just stuck. So it works. And it ended up on my animation demo, which is great.
That's
That
sweet.
works.
Yeah.
Now, go
It's
ahead.
catchy. I was just going to say it's catchy.
Yeah.
It's hard not to say.
Yeah. So what are the other nicknames then?
Yeah.
So my dad calls me Kid because obviously
Yeah, that's what dads
it's
do.
Kid.
Well, that's tough.
Eddie, see, D, just plain D, double D now as well. Trying to think if there's been a couple others. My middle name is Nick or Nicolas, so I got Nick in the past when a teacher of mine couldn't pronounce my name and was like, you mind if I call you Nick? I was like, yeah, sure, go for it.
That's a tough one.
I really
Edilio.
wish your
Edilio.
name was just Nicholas.
That's basically what it was.
Edilio Nicholas.
I was like, okay,
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
In fifth grade, my PE teacher gave up and he was like, you're Adidas. I was like, So the rest of the year he called me Eddie Adidas. I was like, all right, I split the difference.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a good rap name.
I always knew on the football field which coach was calling me because only one got my name right and the other three had different versions of my name. So it was Pelletier, Paultier, Pelletier.
Peloton.
Yeah. It's like, okay, that's Coach Beck. All right, I'll run over here. So, but yeah, man, great to have you on the show. It's been a long time coming. Leo, I got to know really well. We were both in Malik Berger's, as he mentioned, Malik Berger's rehab together. So we spent a lot of time working out together, and we had an amazing good time. I actually met you, I think, for the first time at One Voice, although it was kind of brief.
It was brief. Yep, definitely.
There in August, but yeah, it was fantastic to see you and actually hang with you a little bit at VOA. And then, yeah, brand spanking new member of the Shoestring TV clan.
That's right.
So you
Stay
can
tuned.
look forward
Stay
to
tuned.
some.
Stay
yeah,
tuned.
Stay
Did you do
tuned.
any recording? I can't remember.
I should be in episode 8, and I'll be coming up in episode 9 too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
of
hey,
Topaz
have
and
fun.
Stillman.
Topaz and Stillman.
Yes.
I should
yes.
mention the show, of course.
Yes. I was there for that table read. I'm pretty sure you were there as well.
Yeah, we were there for the table read for episode 8 a couple months ago. That was really fun because I had to pretend I was another character as well.
Yeah, and there's I'm loving the Hispanic community coming together. I feel like the entire Hispanic community has come together to put this episode together.
Yeah.
There's just so many fun new characters. Boy, and then watching other people do each other's characters was pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
That's always the way it
funny,
is in
like-
those table reads because only about half of us show up, so you end up having people.
The
read
last
other
one we
people's
were
stuff.
doing the table read for, I was in a class because I do classroom engineering for Atlanta Voiceover Studio on Thursday nights, and so I got a text message from like 2 people. They're like, "Why aren't you at the table read?" I was like, being part of the instructor team. So
Yeah.
You gotta
good reason.
do what you gotta do.
yeah,
Make
and the
those
first table
ducats.
read we did it before that class, so it worked out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I would say, I don't know if you remember, Edilio, but we hung out at both VOAs.
Yeah, I do remember
And
that.
my knuckles are still recovering from all the times we have to fist bump when we see each other. I don't know if everyone else gets that experience. Highly recommend it. You get a smile and a fist bump,
That's it, man.
you know.
Well, and yeah, Delio's got he's a magnetic personality, and then he gives you that smolder, and you just. I like to joke during rehab that every time if you're only listening, then just enjoy the subtle baritone tones of this man. If you're watching on YouTube, I encourage you every so often just to close your eyes and just just soak it in. I used to say he'd come in and he'd start talking. I'm like, oh, my pants just fell
My
off.
pants fell.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
But joke's on you. Today, I'm not wearing any. So
Well, there you go. It's problem solved.
yeah.
If it was a problem.
Preemptive.
I don't know. Might
Oh,
not
we
have
got
been.
to get
why-
to those
that's not a
questions, Mike. We are devolving quick.
All right. So, Delio, you have the unique distinction of you are bilingual, and so you've
Correct,
got
yeah.
two worlds that you can excel in, and two worlds that you are excelling in. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that flows, and where you are in both of those worlds? What kind of opportunities you're getting?
Yeah, I can definitely get into that a bit. So the funny thing about being bilingual, English and Spanish, is like you said, you're part of two worlds. So like even growing up, you're seeing like I grew up here in America. I grew up in Miami. So in Miami, you still have a lot of that blended English, Spanish, like cultural world. And then after graduating from college, I moved here to Atlanta, which is predominantly English speaking. Like in Miami, I could get both of those, English, Spanish, no problem. Here in Atlanta, most of the time that I was talking Spanish, it was usually with my parents or if I went to like certain restaurants, that kind of thing. So when I dived into the world of VO, I was like, I do speak Spanish. Let's see what happens with that. And so I've been able to get a lot of public service announcements in English and Spanish. Sometimes I book the Spanish one. Sometimes I book the English one. Sometimes I get booked for both, which is cool. But it just kind of works out that way. One of the first things that I was able to do after my first VO Atlanta back in 2023, I heard about the Voices for a Global Majority, which is basically like a database for like multilingual talent, minorities, like just across the whole globe kind of thing. So I signed up for there, and then I got a couple of reach outs. They're like, hey, do you speak Spanish? I'm like, yeah, I speak Spanish. I'm Dominican. I was like, any good Dominicans speak Spanish? Not that kind of thing. So
Is it a different kind of... so I don't know this at all. Is it a different kind of Spanish? I mean, compared to Mexican or Spain or whatever.
Yeah, so there's last thing I checked, there's about 20 countries that speak Spanish.
Yes.
So Dominican Spanish, Cuban Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish, it's very more so in the Latin American diaspora, it's viewed more like, oh, this is like a more urban type of Spanish, like we talk faster. Like,
okay.
There's anytime on Instagram, every once in a while, I'll see a meme or like it's usually like a video reel, and it's like, oh, when you think you understand Spanish, and then they put like an audio clip of somebody speaking Spanish from Dominican Republic, and it's just like this guy talking at like 500 miles an hour. And you're just
But
like,
you understand it.
yeah, I understand what he's saying, but it's funny because I'll send it to some other folks. They're like, yeah, I had no clue what he said. But sometimes that happens to me too, because like one of the things that happened when I was at the University of Miami, where I graduated from, me and my friend, he's from Honduras. We went to Sabaro on campus, and the guy that was manning the pizza station, he was Cuban. So we go up there, me and him, we order our food. He starts talking to us, and as soon as he finishes talking, my friend that I was with, he's like, please tell me you understood what he said. I was like, man, I don't know. So sometimes it does happen that way.
Okay.
Where you may not understand, or there's like certain variances, and like we may use different slang than somebody from like Chile, for an example. A lot of Spanish VO, what they ask for is neutral Spanish. And most of the time when neutral Spanish defaults to, I would probably say is more Mexican accented Spanish. And the reason for that is, at least in my view, that's my opinion, a lot of the talent that you see on television in terms of like the media, like Univision, Telemundo, those kind of things, they are predominantly Mexican talent that are on air. So
That's more
the
what
language
we're
kind of
used
like
to here.
skews. Yeah. And so like when they say neutral Spanish, to me, it just means like, it doesn't mean Mexican Spanish particularly, because if you deep dive into like Mexican Spanish, you get a whole lot of different slang, similar to what I was talking about with like Caribbean Spanish. Just like different like musicality essentially with all these different dialects. Same thing in English, to be honest. Like here you have like the Southern drawl, you have like that Minnesota nice, or like the New Yorker, like New Jersey, the Cali, like laid back vibe, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's really interesting because, I mean, you think, I mean, we know in in America that there are the different dialects. There are definitely the regionals. We know that from England, that there's all kinds of, everybody who thinks they can do a British accent either falls into Posh or goes Cockney, and there's all the things in between. And I don't know, I guess we don't think about it that much in Spanish. That you have Cuban, you have Spain, you have Honduras, you have Mexican and Dominican and Puerto Rican and all these other countries. Where it's the same language but so different. And I guess I don't know, as a white person, it didn't really dawn on me until I went to Spain, and it's a little more laid back there.
One of the things that's interesting about Spanish, they have like a little bit of a lispiness to it. So it's like Zapato, Barcelona, like those kind of things.
Barcelona.
So when
I go there, all the time. Barcelona.
When I go there,
Barcelona?
I'm like, it's not the Spanish I'm used to speaking. Again, this is where they made the language. They talk however they talk.
Yeah, that's true.
They come to Dominican Republic, and we'll probably think they sound strange. They probably think I sound strange when I go over there.
Right. You sound, what'd you call it? Urban, and they sound posh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, my brain doesn't work that way. It's lispy, Spanish, and other. The rest. Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm the typical American that knows one language. I took, I used to joke around with some Latino friends. I had to dos años en escuela. Don't remember anything. Yeah,
not too bad.
I understand pretty much dos años en escuela and donde está el baño.
You know cerveza, right?
Cerveza.
Yeah. And cerveza, that's a good one. Ron, which is rum. What else? Or romo. It's both of them. Okay. Yeah. And let's see what else. Baño, you already said. I'm trying to think if there's another.
I was called pinche pendejo a lot when I was roofing. And the guy's like, it's kind of like fucking idiot or something. Like,
basically, along those lines.
Along those lines. I'm like, awesome. Thank you. I almost didn't want to know that. Yeah. I feel like, obviously we didn't jump ahead. You've been speaking Spanish your whole life? You learned from...
I was born in Dominican Republic. A little bit under a year old, we moved to the United States, so we moved to Miami. My mom, she understands more English than she lets on, my personal opinion.
She'll be watching this.
But I always talk to her in Spanish. And so my dad, he's bilingual as well, like very fluently bilingual. And so we have conversations, and part of the sentence will be in English, other parts will be in Spanish. We'll go back and forth. And like, I think the first couple times that my wife heard me speak Spanish and English with him, she's like, "Do you like think about when you switch?" And I was like, "Nah, that's just how the conversation goes."
Yeah, I always found that one of my best friends growing up was a guy named Oscar from El Salvador, and he would he had zero Spanish accent. He spoke in a flawless English, and he had moved over to the States when he was like, 8, and I met him when he was 12. And in that short time, he had perfect English.
Yeah.
But all growing up with him, whenever he would talk with his mom, he'd call her on the phone, or we'd be at their house or whatever, he would just, without skipping a beat, go back and forth between the languages, and me and my other white friends would just sit there and go,
wow.
What's going on?
Is that a form of code switching?
Yeah.
If you do it with your mom?
You could consider it that way, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think one of the big things for me was always just like, communication is, critical, of course, right? So talk to them in the language that they understand. If I happen to know the language, of course. My sister, I think she knows like 5 languages, and I'm like, yeah, you're clearing me.
Oh, that's
okay.
Yeah.
I have mad respect for people who take the time to learn language. Because one thing, you grew up speaking both.
Yeah,
and they say
definitely.
It's much easier for a little kid to learn both languages and differentiate between the two and speak both flawlessly. But when you're an adult and you learn additional languages, forget about it.
It's
You know,
definitely
kids, they just kind of like, they absorb things and they're not afraid to make mistakes, and they just dive into it, and they like, to me,
Everything's
it's like
interesting.
exploration. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how do you say that? Oh, cool. Or, you know, they meet somebody new at school and they want to be their friend. And like, oh, how do I communicate with this guy? I got to pick this up. And they start just picking things up. It's very interesting to see like kids interact, because you're like, I need that type of wonder and amazement for like the things I do.
For sure. Even in just other kids. It's like, new kid. Like everything's new and exciting.
Well, and when you're a kid, different is cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I remember, I mean, even growing up in the 70s, man, now I'm that old. Yes, I am.
I thought you were
I mean, I
25,
grew up
I'm not gonna lie.
in the San Fernando Valley in Southern California, and multicultural. I mean, we had every race, every creed, every color in my school, and none of us cared. We thought everybody was cool and different, and it didn't matter. And then we only learned from adults, who had those prejudices and who
It's
had
like
those.
we want to pigeonhole you. We tell kids all the time, like, hey, you know, explore your interests. You know, talk to people that are like in a safe environment. Of course, don't just talk to strangers. But like, kids are, like I was saying earlier, kids explore, and so when you get to like a certain point through like the education system or whatever it is, you're about to graduate, they're like, all right, stop doing all of that. It's time to get a big boy job. Like, okay, like, cool. So, you kind of hear it a lot with like, I've heard it a lot with some friends of mine. They're like, you know, I used to have like creative sparks or things like that. And like, it feels like it's dimmed. I don't think it's gone, but it's dimmed. And they're like, well, you know, you got to explore that. You got to scratch that itch, essentially. So,
Yeah. A lot of newer voice actors that are our age, I'm guessing we're a spectrum of ages here, we probably didn't, we had the big boy job. We, trapped in a corporate hellscape that Mike is trapped, that I watch from outside. No, but it's obviously there's give and take from that. Yeah. And I miss the money and stability that comes from a normal job. But it's nice when maybe someone pushes you into that ability. Someone forces you to take a improv class. You know, one of your friends invites you to go to a painting thing. You're like, I remember paint.
exactly. Like, oh man, I used to do this.
Yeah.
Like, why don't I do this anymore?
Yeah.
When did that flame start for you?
This is like a couple stories, essentially, in one.
Please.
So when I was in 8th grade, I won an award, a superlative award, in one of our classes for having a commanding voice. I was like 12, 13.
Even then, you sounded like you do now. I would
Right.
love to meet 12-year-old Edilio going, hey, how you doing, Edilio?
Yeah, like,
Edilio.
so I won that, and I was like, all right, cool. And then like, you just kind of like progress, and they're like, hey, you have a cool voice. Like, even before that, as like a kid, and I got to find the picture, but I used to do like a little bit of singing, like a little bit of acting, like, you know, like a school play type thing, a daycare type play. When I was like really young, and like daycare, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it's a Spanish like Christmas song. It goes, mi burrito sabanero, tin, 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 si me ven, voy camino de Belén. So it's like it's Christmas time when they play that song.
Okay.
So they dressed me up as an angel, and we was like part of the angelic choir singing the song. But it was one of my favorite songs because that was cool. Like, we were saying like, oh, you're doing this thing. The picture I took though, I looked miserable, which is funny.
Even though you loved it.
Even though I
Was
loved
that
it.
just your singing face?
No, I
Made you
think
look
they were
miserable?
just like, oh, we want you
Okay.
to take a picture in this angel outfit. I think it's on Instagram. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's great.
So like that kind of thing. My uncle gave me like a cassette tape because he was like, yeah, this guy loves this song. So I played that cassette tape to death. Then I got the award I was just telling you about from the 8th grade. And then it just kind of like kept going, where it was like, hey, you know, you should do something with your voice. You should do something with your voice. And I kind of put it to the back of my mind because when I was in college, I was like, I majored in international relations and history. So I was like really in like the geopolitical like world.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, well, when I get out of college, I want to go and join the Foreign Service for Department of State. That sounds very cool. You get to explore the world, do that kind of thing. that did not happen. The recession, of course, happened. And what I ended up doing was I took a temp job. I was always good at like computers. So I took a temp job at a warehouse in Miami, working with like phone software to like erase the data on phones. So we'd process like a bunch of phones every single day. Again, though, I was a temp. So they could let me go at any time. They let me go. I was like, all right, well, I got to find another job. My friend, he just got let go of his from his architecture firm that he was at the time, and he started working at the IRS as a contact rep, CSR. Hey, thanks for calling the IRS. My name's so and so. How can I help you? He was like, hey, apply for this. I said, all right, cool. They didn't have any of those jobs in Miami, but they did have them in Atlanta. So I applied. Took a couple months. The temp job ended up bringing me back. And 3 days before I started at the IRS, they called me. They were like, hey, can you be in Atlanta on Monday? I was like, yeah, I can be in Atlanta on Monday. I'm assuming I have a job if that's the case. Like, they're like, yeah, we're going to start orientation.
Can you say
we're
that
do all
first?
that.
Yeah,
Why don't you lead with that next time?
Right. So I called my boss at the time, he's based in Maryland. I'm the only guy in Miami that's like doing this. I was like, hey, Tom, you remember when I got laid off a couple of months ago? I was like, yeah. I was like, so I applied for a job during that time frame where I wasn't working for you guys, and they just told me I need to be in Atlanta on Monday. So, two and two together, I'm trying to let you know today's my last day. His immediate response was, shit.
Don't lay me off.
Yeah, I was like,
next time.
Hey, it's like 2010. Like, the economy's not doing that great.
Yeah.
The owner of the company calls. He's like, hey, is there anything we can do to like, I don't have no time. I have no idea what time it was where he called me because he's in India, but he travels a lot. So I was like, it might be like 2 a.m. over there or something like that. But he calls me. He's like, hey, is there anything we can do to make you, like, convince you to stay? I was like, nah, I don't think you guys are competing with the federal government. So I'm going to go over there. And that's when I started doing the phone call job. So it's like customer service, great. Doing that customer service job, I get compliments on the phone, of course. That's all they hear. Oh, you have such a great voice. Okay.
They're not swearing at you. They're saying, you must be good.
I was very good at...
Screw you! By the way, you have a great voice.
You have a nice voice.
I was very good at, like, de-escalating.
Perfect.
Because the ones that I would usually get that from, people would get a letter like, we're going to seize your property or something like that. And they're not actually doing that at that time because it's a whole process before they even get to that stage. So they'd call and I'd be like, they're like, yo, you guys are going to take my wages or you're going to take my house. And I'd be like, nah, I'm not going to let that happen. Let's see what's going on with your account. See if I can help you out. Yeah. So
there you go.
I'd get in there. I'd help them out, help them understand certain things. And then we kind of go from there. And then we just kind of... Still, it's always the voice in the background. They're always like, oh, you have a nice voice, or, man, I'm glad I called you. You really put me at ease, especially because, like, you have a very calm, like, reassuring voice. I was like, cool, amazing. And then...
Never heard that.
Then I get to 2014. And this is where the spark, I would say, like, lit up, and then it kind of dimmed back down. My roommate at the time was working for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. He was a video productions coordinator for them. So I actually knew I was going to bring this up today, so I went back and pulled the text message. This was January 4th, 2014 at 1:21 in the morning, which means I was out at the bars, probably. Yo, you want to do a voiceover for a video I'm doing? Yeah, I'm down. The next morning, he responds, he's like, cool, let me know when you wake up and we can record it. So I get up, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me like brush my teeth, wash my face, all that. I'm like, all right, man, what are we doing? Like, he said, oh, you're going to, I want you to record the narration for Tony Gonzalez's retirement video. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. So we
and you had never recorded any voiceover before?
No, like training or anything like that. Things that I used to do, like from a voiceover perspective, when I was in college, I had a mic, I had a laptop with like Adobe Audition, or I think it was a Cool Pro Suite or whatever they called it back then. And then my friends, they would have like step competitions. And they would say, hey, can you record some stuff for us? So I'd help them put together like part of the step show performance package, essentially. And I do like a little bit of voice work in there, not a lot, because it's really about them. And
so
then,
you've recorded. You at least
yeah, I
have
recorded,
that
but it
under
wasn't
you.
like, it wasn't anything substantial, I would like say. So we do this, we tuck into like the little corner of the living room, like under the kitchen counter with like a little lav mic, like right here. And it's like, I'm doing all this. Cool. So we record it. He puts it up. So I'm on the Atlanta Falcons page in 2014. Tony Gonzalez's retirement video. And he told me pretty recently it's still one of their highest viewed videos, which kind of like blew my mind.
So,
God, nice.
did you get to meet Tony Gonzalez?
No, I just did the voiceover and that was it.
See, I would have parlayed that into, hey, you remember that cool retirement video?
No, my roommate hooked me up with some other cool stuff, so I wasn't complaining. Yeah. And then it's just kind of like nothing after that. I was like, all right, back in my federal career grind. And then 2022 rolls around. And a couple of people mentioned again, you ever think about like doing radio? That's usually what they say. It's like, you ever think about doing radio? It's always radio. So
audiobooks now.
Yeah, now it's audiobooks. So
podcast.
I'm having a conversation with my wife, and I'm like, yeah, man, you know what? People keep saying this to me. I probably should look into this. And she's like, yeah, you probably should. I'm like, oh man, she challenged me. I gotta go. Like, what you gonna do about that? I said, you know what? I'm gonna find out. Again, this was like late at night. It was probably like 1 a.m. And I'm like, I would pull out the phone. I'm like, Atlanta voiceover. I find the Atlanta voiceover studio. I was like, oh, cool. What do they have? They have an intro to VO workshop with Brian Bremer, and I signed up. Now, this was like February of 2022. The class wasn't until June. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm just chilling until then, doing what I'm doing. And then that's kind of where like the spark came alive from there. Because it's different when, like, I went to the workshop. It's like a 3-hour workshop. But you get to go in the booth and record. And so I go in there. He gives us feedback. And he's like, you have a marketable voice. If you get some more training, you can definitely do some things with it. I was like, all right. It's different when your friends tell you, like, oh, yeah, you have a nice voice. You should do something with it.
Having a nice voice and having a trained nice voice.
Right. And then this is a guy that has like 30 years of voiceover experience telling me like, hey, you can make money doing this. Just apply yourself. Like, keep going with the training, keep doing things. So like, I really got like soaked into the Atlanta voiceover studio, like system essentially, because their big thing is that training, and a lot of it is commercial oriented. So I probably took almost every class there, I want to say. So I did an intro to VO workshop. I did an acting for VO workshop. The beginner voiceover intensive, which is a 12-week course. I took a class called The Character of You, which is now called The Secrets to Sounding Like You. Steve actually presented that at VO Atlanta this year, Steve Henderson.
Okay.
That was another 12-week course. So I'm doing all these courses. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting into it. I like signed up for like Boombox Studios to like catch David Hayter, like stuff like that. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Like, I'm learning about all these different pieces from like people that may not be as well known as somebody like Solid Snake, of course, or Steve Bloom himself. But you're getting all these different points of view. And I'm like, all right, I'm kind of like trying to put this together. And so I said, all right, cool. Then I go to VO Atlanta, and I met Joe Zizia there. And that's when he was like getting his program started, Voice Acting Academy. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll check that out too. Very comprehensive course. Cool. And I said, you know what? All right, it's time to like really solidify this stuff. Up until that point, the only thing I had like personally owned for VO was a microphone, which my wife bought for me for our wedding anniversary.
What a wife.
Yeah, she's
nice.
Great. So she's been very supportive from the start, which is cool.
Well, you keep
we know how good that is.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people
wife behind you.
There's a lot of people whose families don't support their creative endeavors.
Yes.
So that's like a challenge for them.
And I haven't seen them amongst us in a while, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's like having that level of support behind me is like crucial. So then I have the interface that I bought. XLR, that's it. I have the XLR cable, the mic, the interface. and my non-treated room, which is the room I'm in now, that is now my home studio. Before I turned this into a home studio, I had like a wall of steel books, movies, which is phenomenal for audio because it's all
reverberation.
metallic.
Yeah, ting, 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 ting. Yeah.
So I had
At
that.
a noise floor of 12.
Yeah, it was bad. But hey, you grow. So I learned a lot about home studio. I signed up for George the Tech's X session at VO Atlanta, and I was just to like confirm the stuff that I've learned up to that point about home studio was accurate. And I was like, all right, cool. I learned quite a bit that I didn't know, but also confirmed the things I did know. And then I started buying my stuff. People have seen like videos of my studio and they'll say, man, this is like really sick. Cause like, it's hard to tell, but like this picture behind me, it's a acoustic panel. It's a 4-inch like acoustic panel.
Okay.
But
I just thought you were watching traffic.
So it is a picture. It's a picture of Atlanta. My cousin took the photo. I did a little bit of color editing and I ordered the panel from GIK here in Atlanta. I have another 2 art panels. Those are the first 3 like acoustic treatments I bought. So one of them was a picture my cousin took that I edited a little bit. The other one is a picture of a wine cellar I took in Spain. And then the one across from me is a picture of the ocean that I took in St. Lucia. So I turned those into 4 feet by 4 feet acoustic panels.
Nice.
And I'm like, all right, cool. This is how I get started. As soon as I put them up, I could tell the difference. I was like, oh yeah, I need more of this. And so I slowly but surely, I started evolving the studio, and now I have a bunch of bass traps. I have like 2 hanging above me, but I'm like doing all this. I'm like, cool. This is like really cool because I get to, because even designing a studio in itself, there's some creative elements to that. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to use pictures. So that way it's just not, boom, foam everywhere. Or,
or curtains.
Or curtains,
Foam.
yeah.
Yep, I've got foam.
And like it works, but like you add those like little quirks, and it's like it helps spark that creative element to it. So, which is something I really like.
I was wondering about that myself. I'm like, do I need more pizzazz in here? I'm thinking as like a kid, the less I had, the more imagination. For me.
Yeah,
I understand like piecing things together from like maybe your brain like lights up with more stuff. I think if I have too much stuff, I'm just gonna play, use my clicker and shit.
Yeah. And I think for me,
I've got my spinny D&D die.
I got a bunch. I could probably like reach anywhere and
There's
find
just
something.
too much stuff sometimes.
What I ended up converting this whole room into my home studio.
Nice.
So instead
you can spread your arms out.
Yeah.
So instead of the closet, I was actually originally I did a whole like 3D sketch of this space because I was going to buy a studio bricks or a whisper room. And then my wife was like, it felt like Inception because I really did want to do the whole room, but I was like, I don't know if she's going to go for that. My wife was like, why don't you just do the whole room? I was like, let's get going.
So you're like Neo, really. You're the one, okay? You got the voice. So you're Neo there. Then you like tech. You enjoy techie stuff. You enjoy computery stuff. You've liked acting almost your entire life. And singing.
Yeah.
And you can speak 2 languages. Like, I have less than half of those, some of those things I have. But like all the stuff that needs to converge to be a voice actor has landed on you, Neo.
I mean, it feels like a perfect storm of stuff. And like, and it's not to say like, everything's like just a straight line up. Because like we all know voiceover and really creative efforts in general, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You're going to have ebbs and flows. There's going to be moments like where you doubt yourself, and there's going to be moments where you're like you haven't booked in a while and you're like, am I on the right track? Like I need you don't get feedback from people, not generally. And you're like, all right, I gotta like get a coach or something, or like I need somebody like bounce this off of to be like, do I suck? And they're like, no, you don't suck. You just haven't been selected by somebody who wants what you're offering. But that doesn't mean what you're offering is invaluable. Because it may be something where your name pops up and they say, oh, I remember that guy.
I just had that happen. It was absolutely insane. An audition I did in October. I got booked for something else today.
I mean, that's
What?
crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, I was like, how do you even remember me? It was the tiniest audition.
They have their files, they have their databases. They might hear something and go, not right for this job, but I'm filing this one away. And someday there'll be a job that this person's right for.
I think the greatest thing that's like happened for me, like in terms of like those kind of situations, is people that I've met along the way have had me in mind to say, oh, you should reach out to this guy for this project. Like a couple of years ago, I did a spot for New York City Department of Health about opioid abuse. PSAs are somehow they find their way to me, which I like because PSAs are very valuable.
You get that voice
Soothing.
that people will be like, oh, I should listen to this.
Yeah.
So we did. So the way I got that was somebody I met at VO Atlanta in 2023, Sixta Lee. She is a bilingual talent as well. She was talking to a production house, and they were like, "Hey, we need a, Dominican talent, Puerto Rican talent, somebody that's like Caribbean, because that's a lot of like the Spanish speakers in New York City. We also, it'd be great if they speak English too." I was like, "Oh yeah, cool." She says, "Reach out to this guy being me." And so they reach out to me. They're like, "Hey, can you do an audition for this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I do the audition. They're like, "All right, cool. We're going to add you to our roster and you book this." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I was like, "That's amazing." So that was one of those. That was one of those cases where somebody basically hooked me up with like, "Check this guy out. You might be interested." And then I ended up booking that job. I did the English VO. Somebody else did the Spanish VO. That's fine. No big deal. Like I said at the beginning, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not mad at it because I still get to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like that. That's what I found like helps out. People that know me, they'll say, "Hey, reach out to Edilio. He can help you out with this." I'm
Well,
like,
and
"All
that's
right,
why,
cool."
with any business, whether it's VO, whether it's, in corporate America, whatever, a lot of success has to do with who you know. People can tell you differently, but if you know the right people, if you meet the right people, and if those right people believe in you, then you have a much better shot at making it and doing something than if you're just cold. Now, I'm not going to say some people, shoot, Jeff Williams is prolific, and he just started doing Fiverr stuff and rolled into just a success because he has, like you, he's got that voice, but he's got that Southern John voice.
Mhm.
And we got to have him on the show. Let me text Jeff. Sorry, Edilio, your
No, you're good.
interview is
You're
done.
good.
I'm thinking of other
You're
people
out.
already.
Yeah,
You're
we're
out.
calling
You're
him right now. Yeah.
But that is the rarity, right? I mean, most people who are getting in the business now, who are COVID babies or even later, there's a glut of us. There's a lot of people, and so knowing the right people really can propel you. Then there's other people that, again, that just, talent just oozing out of every pore in their body who just can't help but book work.
Yeah.
Well, we all had our thing to start, right? The thing that we were good at. Mike, you've always been a good public speaker. You're always good at projecting forever and character work right out the gate. I have my improv I'm not afraid to play. Like, I think we all have some little corner that we held on to, and we're still kind of holding on to, probably.
Or even like just trying to like expand that little corner a bit. Just to be like, you know what? Like maybe if I peel this corner a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, and that comes with coaching, right? I mean, you can't get anywhere if you don't have at least a tiny little bit of talent. Again, I mean, people can tell you have a great voice, but if you can't act, and if you can't read a script, and if you can't emote, then that good voice isn't going to do anything. But like you said, I mean, you can have like this much talent, and then coaches start, peeling it back and figuring out how they can break you and
like mold you into
like a
become
stallion.
better
pull
talent.
all that stuff underneath it out. The iceberg thing. It's like they only see this much.
Oh, you only see this much.
Talent underneath it, and this is a bad visual. But
we got all that talent.
all
in
that
there.
talent.
Just like, what's here?
You got to
Like so for me, those are like the two biggest things for like people who persist in voiceover. Not necessarily succeed, but they persist. They keep going at it. Is education and community. And that was a lot of the two, like when I started taking classes at Atlanta Voiceover Studio, that was a lot of what the focus was. They're like, hey, you know, you're not going to be you're likely not to be demo ready after, a 12-week beginner course that's 2 hours a week. You have to do work in between those classes. Maybe it is coaching. Maybe it's something else. You're just getting feedback. And then they're like, these are your peers. You guys went to this class together. You are your community. And then you start finding other communities to jump into. That's cool. One of the people that I started with at in my beginner intro or beginner voiceover intensive class.
You speak for
Robin
a living.
Williams.
We can tell.
I say words.
Yeah.
She got nominated for a Sovus last year, which that's amazing. I was super happy for her. And she didn't mention it. I saw it. I was like, "Is this you?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You got to share with the class, share with the group." But like, those are the cool things that you get to experience because, and this is pretty different from like other industries. People like to see each other succeed a lot in voiceover.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, like
It's amazing.
like somebody I know booked a job. I'm like, even if I auditioned for it, I'll be like, that's fucking great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then if I see the spot, I'll be like, oh, I recognize that voice,
Yeah.
which is like awesome.
Even when it's something you auditioned for and you didn't get it, and you're like, man, that would have been great. And then you hear the voice for it.
And you're like, oh, yeah.
Someone you're like, yeah. Okay. Now
And you
I know
generally
why
go,
I didn't
that's
get it
it.
because
Yeah.
you really nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's feeling, especially lately now that we've been doing it a while and we know a lot more people. It's feeling like we all have lit fuses, and you're just watching like, pew! Yeah, like people are, they're hitting their stride or they found their lane or whatever it is. It's like, oh my God, yeah, thank goodness.
It's just so cool to see. Like
Yeah.
like every day it's something new where somebody has something they share, and I'm like, I'm glad that you shared that with me first, and I'm really happy that like this positive thing has happened for you. And it's like sometimes you hold on to that like one bit of positivity for a while because you might go through like a drought, and you're like, you know what, I'm still holding on to that short list, or I'm holding on to that hold, or or the booking. Like there's a lot of like little things that really like help you keep going when you're like on that path.
You got to hold on to that kind of thing because there is so much rejection.
Yeah.
There is so much that you submit and you don't hear boo
At all.
Yeah, you get, like you said earlier, you don't get a lot of feedback on most of the stuff that you submit, most of the auditions you do, most of the jobs you try to get, unless you get the contact that you're shortlisted or or you've booked it or whatever.
As it goes off into the ether.
Yeah. It's like, gosh, I feel like I really did good there, but I guess they thought otherwise. But yeah, so you got to hold on to those successes. You got to hold on to the peers that tell you you're doing great. To the coaches, as long as they're not blowing smoke up your ass.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's some of that, but.
Thankfully, I haven't experienced too much of that, but it does happen.
You know what? This is different or felt different. My peers who generally are like, someone's winning, right?
Yeah.
So you glom onto them. You're like, show me what winning looks like.
Yeah.
Is this what it looks like?
And they're like, yes, come with me. This winter, I met most of my friends had a lull, like a solid lull, and we're all like looking around like, help me, and they're like, no, help me. It's like people drown, you're just pushing other people under the water, and you're like, no, but I might quit, but I'm gonna sell my it all felt kind of that way. Have you been through some of those lows? I mean, as
sure.
Neo, I know Trinity dies at some point, but she gets resurrected. Don't worry. Oh, sorry.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, what gets you through those like really hard moments?
A lot of the time when because I've asked some coaches that I've worked with, like, how do you climb out of a rut? Because that's really what it feels like. It feels like you're in a rut, and it's like, I don't want to feel this way. How do I get out of it? And sometimes they just say, well, like, it sounds very basic, but they're just like, keep doing the job. audition. Just keep doing it. You're going to have ebbs and flows. There's going to be times where your stuff is like, man, things are going really great. And then there's other times where you're like, oh, I don't know if my auditions are hitting at all.
I never wanted to believe that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then it happened,
and like you get into your mind frame and you're just like, yo, I don't know what you kind of like lose that confidence. And which is probably the number one killer for any career is if you start to lose confidence in yourself, you're on a downward spiral fast, which is why the community thing is very valuable, because some people can see that, hey, you seem to be like down, or like might need a little nudge, that kind of thing. So sometimes I just reach out to folks and say, hey, this is how things are going for me. Like, you mind listening to like a couple things, or like, let's do like a little one-on-one, just see what the gauge is. Like, you can be honest with me. And then they kind of like, they'll give you the feedback. We're like, no, I'm not seeing too much different, to be honest. Like, your reads are still solid. It just, right now the market might not be, looking for what you're offering. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And then another thing I like to do is like a perspective shift, because somebody explained this very well at the first or second VO Atlanta I went to. They're like, when you're doing an audition for, let's say promo, you're competing with guys like Joe Cipriano. He's like the promo king. Mm-hmm. Donovan Cornines, he's a promo guy. Like, he's locked in. So you're competing against these guys who have been doing this type of work for a long time. They have a lot of experience that they bring to the table. And you're competing against them. You're competing against yourself, of course, because that goes back to the confidence thing. And then it's just kind of like, okay, fine. We're all in competition with each other, but so what? Put out your best effort every time. Be proud of the work you input, and then it'll come back. A lot of the things I like to think is like cyclical. Some things are going to be like really, really smooth ride, and then the descent might not be as smooth.
Okay.
But then it comes back around and you say, all right, let's get back to it.
So even when you're down, you're like, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things.
Coach.
Well, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can beat myself up over it, or I can just like stick to the grind. Like, I know this is a marathon.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about this past VO Atlanta with somebody I know pretty well, because they were asking me like, hey, do you plan to go full time anytime soon? And I was like, I don't know if I'm like set up that way yet. Like, I have a really strong career here. I need this to like come up and get close to it at least, like on a consistent basis. Because I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, you had a good year. But,
that's smart,
right?
You know what? That's smart.
that's So, but he was like, he's like, I think you're further along than you think you are. You probably could go full time. I'm like, all right. And he was like, but what happens when you go full time? He's like, he said it happens to like a lot of the people that he's spoken with. It's
you
like,
rely on it.
You get into like that, like when that first rut hits, like that first dip, you're like, shit, like I need to figure this out.
It's different when you have to rely on it for your livelihood, because then you're stressing about making money.
Yep. And the way you feel does come into your performance. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like if you're depressed, it's gonna come up when you're like,
yep, for sure.
You're trying to deliver a read for like an elementary school, and then it's like, let's say the line is like, come
I only do those depressed.
Come play at the school, the greatest school in the world. If you're feeling like shit, come play at the greatest school in the world. Like, oh man, your body's gonna be excited to go to that school. But if like you had a good day, you booked a job, and it was like let's say this is like your dream job or something like that. You wanted to be the voice of like a major campaign. You got it. Then you see that kids commercial come in, and you're gonna be like, oh, come play at the greatest place in the world. Like, you're gonna have like that energy to like say, hey, let's do this.
All of a sudden you go 3 octaves up. That's what happens when you're pumped.
Right.
Don't go too high. Longer does it.
Don't lose you.
I don't think that's you, my man.
Yeah.
Oh boy, gosh.
What's Edilio doing way up here?
Man.
He's not only bilingual,
Yeah, but he's bi-octave.
He's an alto.
So that you inadvertently brought something up that is a usual question of mine. So what is that dream job for Edilio Diaz? What is the thing that would be like, all right, I've really made it now because I did that spot or I did that project or whatever? Is there that grail job that you've been hoping for?
So I would love, and I'm not necessarily going to say it's like a specific brand or anything, but I would love to be like part of the campaign for like a Super Bowl commercial or the NBA Finals or
Olympics,
the World Series, the Olympics, like a major like sporting event. Like the World Cup is coming around the corner. I would love to do a spot that plays during the World Cup. That's like, this is our World Cup campaign. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this. And it's like, a lot of people get to see, what I can bring to the world essentially with what I have, which is cool. And that's like from the like big picture, like commercial, like, oh, this is super awesome. But I do find a lot of fulfillment in like what they would consider like a smaller job. Like I was talking about the New York City PSA. That was cool. Like I didn't think of it this way until like after the fact. I was like, oh, I just did a commercial for like a city of like 8 million people.
Yeah.
right.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's not small.
Insane.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's what I was talking about earlier, like perspective shifts. I'm like, all right, this job may not have paid me like, $1 quadrillion, which would be amazing, but it has a great message. Like, okay, these are effective tools to stop opioid abuse. And then it also has the benefit of, making me a little scratch. Cool. And a lot of people get that message. They hear it. I did one for like fentanyl. That was in Spanish. That was for like
for fentanyl?
Like pro fentanyl.
Buy our fentanyl.
Anti-fentanyl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, fentanyl is, 50 times more destructive than so-and-so, like that kind of thing. That was in Spanish. I did that for Maryland. I did one for drunk driving in like New Mexico. Suicide prevention for like teenagers in New Jersey. There's like a lot of little like different PSAs that I've been able to do. And I'm like, these all mean something, which is like really fulfilling personally. And then you have like those big jobs. The first job that I probably it was a clue, you should do this more.
Right.
Tony Gonzalez's retirement video. Like, that's a big get. And it was just like, it happens because I happen
and you
to
got
know
a free
guy.
signed helmet or something.
Right?
Instead of like a big payout.
That stuff is really cool. Like,
I got some old Nikes.
This football in lieu of pay.
one of the things I had to do when I was preparing my Spanish commercial demo was like come up with like a list of brands that I would like to, do spots for and things. So let me see if I have it somewhere here.
I've decided on Reese's for myself.
Reese's,
I definitely want to fight against.
That sounds great.
Who's doing the Reese's commercials now? We know him. Yeah, we know. He played Batman in Lego.
Will Arnett.
Why can't I think of his name?
I can never think of his freaking
Will Arnett.
name.
Yeah.
Will Arnett.
Yeah, Will Arnett.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I see Will Arnett everywhere, and I want his spots. I just don't see that happen.
So like I wrote a couple of these down. I was like, Sony PlayStation. I love PlayStation.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome to do like a campaign for Sony. Honestly, Sony in general would be cool, not just
Right.
PlayStation. I'm a big soccer fan. Like if I did something for Chelsea Football Club from the English Premier League or Atlanta United here in Atlanta, like that would be awesome. Taco Bell, it's fast food.
Same.
I grew up growing.
Dude.
I'm like, hey, it would be cool to do a spot for them.
Let's do one together. Let's make
Yo
one.
quiero
Make
Taco
one,
Bell.
Yeah.
I actually had someone reach out to me because they thought I did a Taco Bell commercial. And I was like, nah, that's not me, but it would be cool if it was. Things like that. University of Miami, I went there. I would love to do like a commercial for them.
Yeah.
Somebody that I met last year at One Voice, she actually did a spot for them. And when I saw it, I got really excited because I was like, oh, I met this person. And they did a voice over for the school I went
You're
to.
adjacent to the voice.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
like, I'm close. And so like I left the
Closer
comment
than
when
you
I
were
said-
before.
Exactly. So I left a comment like on her post. I was like, yo, this is so cool because I graduated from there. And she was like, oh, that's awesome.
Got any
Like-
contacts?
Hey, like help me out.
Can I
But
slip into your
those kind-
DMs
those-
and figure out?
those kind of things. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's like when people say they have a dream job, like they have the big picture one, but then like along the way they figure out like little things that bring them that personal fulfillment.
See, that's an interesting perspective that I don't think anybody else has answered when I've asked that question, is that, yeah, there's the big things, but there's the little things along the way that are also dream fulfillment. That's a good way of looking at things.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's all perspective. That's probably what you're gonna have to caption in the video. The perspective, man.
Yeah. Perspective with Edilio Diaz.
You know what's going to actually happen? Riverside labels these itself. It's going to do that for me. Especially since y'all are saying perspective so many times.
Yeah, AI will catch that.
The perspective conversation.
That's an important word.
Yeah. Speaking
Mike,
of some important words.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it's this sweatshirt I'm wearing.
Might be your laundry detergent.
Yeah, I got like an itch that I just can't scratch.
What do you think would help scratch that itch, Mitch?
I want to act.
Ah.
Don't you get it by now? Okay.
Oh, man. After 2.5 years of doing this, I still don't understand when you do
I
that.
never get the hint.
No idea.
All right. Well,
Please.
Yeah, so let's do the thing and come back and do the other thing. And here we are with
Wow,
a
we're
wonderful
here.
ChatGPT script. And for the first time ever,
Ever?
our guest actually didn't write it, put the prompt in himself.
I prompted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's amazing.
So normally Mitch does
feel
it
free.
sometimes when Mitch isn't available. I do it. The guest, Edilio Diaz, took it upon himself to open up a window at ChatGPT, type a few words in, and have it spit out a dumb script. So
I'm free of the shackles and shame that comes with it. Now it is
Yeah.
Edilio's problem,
now
and
if
we
this
will
sucks,
email
it's
him
all
every
on
Monday.
E-double-D.
If it stinks, it's my fault.
Yes.
It doesn't,
So
by the way.
with that,
Our
we
accents
are
stink.
Who are we, Edilio?
So we are 3 components of a cocktail, and we've been stuck on a shelf for 3 years. Of course, playing the role of gin is Mike. Playing the role of Campari is Mitch.
Hi.
I didn't want to get typecast as the Italian.
And
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Vermouth is me.
Oh, it's been 3 years.
I count in sunsets reflected off the glass. So, spiritually, 48,000.
I count in spoilage. I should have been refrigerated.
You say that every day.
Because every day, it remains true.
You've become very theatrical since a year or two.
Oxidation is a dramatic process.
No. We used to have a purpose. Precision. Ice. Citrus. A coup. Someone in a blazer saying, interesting.
I was born interesting,
You were born loud.
says the fortified wine, having a Victorian decline in real time.
No. Do you remember the parties, the glorious parties?
Oh,
What I remember is being opened once and then abandoned like a soft launch.
I remember that little jigger. Cold, clinical, intimate.
Oh, I miss that little jigger.
No. I miss relevance.
I miss being feared by amateurs.
Oh, we've been on this shelf so long, the bitters think we're furniture.
And did you see? The maraschino cherries have started a religion?
Yes, they worship the syrup and deny evaporation.
Did you hear what the vodka said yesterday?
Vodka says nothing. That's its whole brand. That's what it does.
No. The expensive one in the freezer. It called us aspiration.
Oh, that's so insulting.
No. Insulting was when the mezcal called us book club alcohol.
I like that. It implied literacy, huh?
No, we are not book club alcohol. We are elegant, bitter,
Yes.
complex.
Yes.
One of us is vinegar adjacent.
No.
Listen, you need to stop identifying with your current condition.
My current condition has notes of regret and the radiator.
I still taste perfecto.
Of course you do. You're preserved by spite.
Correcto.
Gentlemen, what if this is it? What if no one ever reaches for us again?
Oh, but someone has to.
They'll see us. They'll want something sophisticated, timeless, European.
Or they'll make a sangria with dusty cinnamon sticks and call it improv.
No, for the love of God, don't do this.
Wait.
What?
Footsteps.
Real, live footsteps.
Oh God, okay. Smell good. Everyone smell good.
I always smell expensive.
No. Be normal.
I no longer know how to be normal.
Do we still have anything for Negronis?
Oh, say less.
Finally.
If I die out there, tell the olives I was young.
I cannot tell a lie. You add O to anything. It's Italian.
Do we have a Negroni?
Mitch went to the Mike Pelletier School of Italian.
I didn't put
accent.
mine as high as yours, but
Yeah.
it felt okay. It felt not good, not bad. It felt okay.
I kind of like the manic vermouth.
Manic vermouth, yeah.
Yeah,
Very smooth.
absolutely. It's very
Well,
smooth enough. Yeah.
Lots of fun. Edilio, thanks for finally joining us. Appreciate
yes.
you having you on the show. And for everybody who's been listening, you can put your pants back on now.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. We got more
Yeah,
to
it was-
talk about, but
Hey,
save that for
there's
another.
There's always round two.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got you.
Still around. If you got something to promote, let us know.
Right now, I don't have anything to promote just quite yet. Maybe later.
Next time? Okay.
Yeah, next time. So,
Yeah,
if
perfect.
you do have something to promote, you reach out and say, Mitch, Mike,
Yeah.
Mention
have
this.
me back on the show. I got something.
I got something for
Right.
this.
And we'll do
Yeah,
a
baby.
3-minute blurb on whatever that is. We'll make you
Yeah.
fast talk it. Oh,
We'll give you a tiny little bit of time.
Yeah, a little bit of today.
had
Mitch
your
and Mike's
time, Edilio.
Mitch and Mike's
It's-
promo time.
Yeah. All right.
We're
and
going to
with
play
that-
you out now. We're going to play.
Camillili, I don't even know what he was. Ta-da. Goodbye.
What was that? Right?
I don't know.
Oh, he's gone.